I hit it.
It's broadcasting.
We are now broadcasting to all attendees. Hey, everybody.
There's about 197 registered, just a heads up, guys. So when you see that number kind of top off.
Perfect. Thanks, Kate.
60, 67, 75. Nice.
There you go. Godspeed, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. All right, it looks like we're getting up there. Well, while people are filtering in, I just wanted to welcome everybody to the webinar. Appreciate you taking some time. I know it was kind of a last minute invite, but we wanted to get you some training on the back end of Impress, Moxi Impress. So we have Chris Gunn here today who's going to step you through how to how you can help your agents and get into the back end of Impress. So with that, I'm going to introduce Chris Gunn. I'm sure many of you have seen him on other webinars. He's my trustworthy person over at Moxi Works who always calling and going, Chris, help me. But anyways, with that, Chris, thanks a lot for doing this today, and let you take it away from there.
No problem. I'm glad to jump in. Thank you for the intro, Kevin. Hey, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to join the call today. I know that it was a little bit short notice, but like Kevin said, we wanted to make sure that you guys were familiar with the admin portion of the Impress tool. Good news is because Impress is so highly automated, there actually isn't a huge amount of stuff for us to go over. So this could be a relatively short webinar. We could all get a lot of our time back. For those of you that don't currently have your credentials to log in as an admin right now, or received an email with the wrong credentials yesterday, our team is working to just make sure all the credentials are up to date. And we're going to send that back to Kevin later today so that anybody that hasn't gotten their updated credentials should have those by end of day today. And so I just wanted to touch on that first. And then we're going to just go ahead and jump straight over to once you log in. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now.
Hey, Chris, before you get started, I just wanted to mention one thing that should anybody have questions, I ask that you please use the Q&A and not the chat. That way we can keep track of them after the webinar is over, and we can, if we need to make a Q&A or a FAQ, we could do that.
Awesome. All right, and so once you log in, and I've actually logged in as Kate Lesor from training. So once you log in at marketing.imprev.net/admin home, and so it'll ask you for your username and your password, which you should be receiving in an email. This is going to be your dashboard page. And so when you land on this page, really, really straightforward. It's going to show you how many users you can manage, how many active sessions have happened, so how many people have actually logged in the last 7 days, and then how many projects were created in all of the areas that you were able to see in the last 7 days. And so that's going to be the primary things that get shown here. Okay. And also you're going to have access to your account profile where you can set your new password. And so one of the first things that I'm going to ask for you guys to do after you get your email, after you get that email with your password and login information, is to set a new password for yourself. Sorry, my daughter's peeking her head in because work from stay-at-home dad life is hard. And so first thing I'm going to ask you to do is come in, hit this account button in your drop-down menu, and update your password. And you'll just have to put in the new password and confirm. Click Update Admin, and that'll update your settings. All right, so that's the first thing that I'm going to ask for you to do. Then we're going to go back to Profiles, and this is how you access users in the area that you're working. And so you can search for users here by using the user search criteria that we have here. So first name, last name, their user ID, you're not going to need to know that, or email. And so I recommend using email. That's going to be the most effective way to find somebody, is by putting in their email, but you can also use their first or last name. And so I'll give you an example. If I was looking for Judy, it's going to show me all the applicable Judys, and I can just select the one I'm looking for from the list. And so some of you are going to have smaller regions or areas that you're managing. A lot of those of you that are from franchises are just going to see the franchises that you're associated with. So these lists are going to be relatively short for most of you. But those of you that are regional admins are going to see a pretty long list of people here. So there are two other items I want to show you right down here in this person list that gives you an opportunity to just sort of see what's going on in an account at a glance. The first is this little hourglass here, or this little spyglass here, where you can just click on that person and see how many listings or automated presentations were created for that individual, if they have any contacts, if they have a Facebook token stored. And so just basic information about them is going to be available right there. Hold on 1 second. I got to take my daughter out of the room. Sorry about this, guys. Do you want to watch a show? Sit down. Sit down, be quiet. Stop talking. Sorry about the distraction, guys. I apologize for that.
Oh, this is the new normal, Chris.
Okay, and so from here, there are also a couple of actions that you can take. And so you can look a little bit closer. You can look a little bit closer into the person's individual profile by clicking on their name. Yes. And you can click in a little bit further to see their full profile. And so it'll show whether or not they have an agent photo uploaded, what company logo they're displaying, any mailing information that they have associated with their account. And most of this information you're not going to really need to do anything with. But if at any point in time you need to see what emails have been delivered to them or user sessions they've had recently, you can do that by scrolling all the way to the bottom. So we are going to look for a specific person that has loads of listings so that we can see how to administer her listings and help her out with some of the projects that she currently has active. And so I took a look earlier and found Mary Strimple, who has a bunch of listings. And so I'm gonna just go ahead and put her name in. And then we are going to take a look into her account by clicking on her email here. That's going to open up her account for me so that I can get a really high level look of what's going on with her. And so there's Mary's photo. Here's her company logo. If I needed her user ID, it's here. I can check her email, contact information, make sure her title is all correct. And then I can see her company address. And if I need to update that, I can update that here. Any design groups that are associated with her. And then down at the bottom, I can look at the last few times that Mary's logged in. And actually, I have an active session right now in her account. So you can see that active session going on down here. As well as I have some emails that have been delivered to this account that you can see if you click on this last 30 days email. And so you can see all of the automation emails that have actually been kicked off and sent today, including one today for an open house. And so this is going to be up to the minute. And so this open house actually wasn't here when I came into this account earlier today. Another thing that I can do from this profile is I can actually log in as Mary into her account so that I can take actions on her behalf. Pardon me. And so by clicking that little red lock button, and we'll just go back here, this little red lock up at the top that says login as user, that actually logs me in as Mary so that I can navigate her account as though I were her. And so now that I'm in her account, I can take a look at the automated projects that have been created. And so I can see all of the projects for her listings that have been created here. All of the folders, if I need to rename a folder for her, I can. I can click into the listing and look at the different pieces that have been created. So if she's asking for help with updating photos, editing some of the copy on an individual piece, I can go in as her and actually do that for her. And so we've got this just listed e-card that's come out. Say Mary wanted me to update some of the photos here, add an additional photo, or maybe add her personal logo. I would be able to do that on her behalf. And so look here, we've got a quality warning for a photo here. Maybe I can go in and select a new and a little bit more high quality photo for her here. And so any action an agent can take in Impress, you can now take on their behalf when you're logged in as them. And so that's for editing any existing project. So any of their automation projects are accessible through that projects tab. Any of their listings are also accessible through the listings tab. And so if you click on the listings tab, it's going to show you all of their listings by MLS ID. You can search by MLS ID and say, for example, they wanted you to help update some of the agent remarks or some of the data in the listing. You can actually manage that full listing right here from within the admin, and even generate a net new marketing kit for them as well. And really the primary powers that you get with an admin account here is the ability to go in, not only view a profile and update the user profile for your agents, but to go in and act on their behalf as well. And so when you're logged in as somebody, you can do everything that they can. You do want to make sure that if you are purchasing postcards, you would be using their account. So make sure that you have their approval before making any purchases on their behalf.
Hey, Chris.
All right. And so,
Chris, if you change anything in this field right here, so if I change Mary's email address for conversation, that won't get overwritten by the file coming from Howard Hanna?
This will not get overwritten by the feed, no.
Okay.
And so I would recommend not making any updates here if you can avoid it at all.
And can you show them before you got to this view of Mary, like how you can easily just click on, because I always got confused with this. That's why I'm pointing it out. That the red lock, which looks like you're going to like lock out their account, that's actually how you can log in as that particular user.
Yep. And so these two icons, one, the spyglass is to look and see if they have any listings or what campaigns they're currently running. And the second one is to log in as them. And so I know that we made it red, which makes it seem like it's a bad thing that you shouldn't click, but it actually just allows you to log in as any of the users in this list.
I got a couple of questions filing in, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
So one says, can agents add a photo of another agent who is sharing the listing?
I do think we may actually in the photo gallery have a co-list design where they have the ability to add a second photo. But that would be a manual design that they would have to grab out of the projects tab.
They couldn't replace it with a different agent though, is that correct?
No, they couldn't replace it with a different agent.
Okay. Okay. I'm in New York with this soon. Alex Jordan from New York. So if you are in the Buffalo or Rochester regions, you do not have this at the moment, and this will be probably, we don't have an ETA yet. It's going to be probably sometime next year before you have access to this. So just stay tuned for that. And this is being recorded. So we'll make sure that you have access to the recording as well. Okay. How does the agent set up the payment option for mailing postcards?
And so that's going to be done on in their Quantum Digital account. And so we are connected to the agent's Quantum Digital account. We can SSO into that. And so they'll set up their payment options there. But since it's connected, say if you were to click on purchase or click on print postcard, select Quantum Digital, it's going to SSO you or directly log you in to that agent's Quantum Digital account with their credit card information stored. So that's where they would put the information in. I don't know if that answers the question or just made it more confusing.
I think once they get there, it should be pretty evident as to how they can do that.
Yep.
Let's see here. With regards to the postcards projects, is this for viewable postcards being sent, or is Postcards Plus via Quantum going to be dissolved? And is in the projects for the postcards being sent via Moxi Press, or are they integrated in both systems? Thank you. Okay, so I think I understand your question. I think what you're asking is this going to basically take over Quantum? There's no plan right now to have Quantum go away. Look, you really want to look at Impress the way it is today as an automated system, and that's first and foremost. And then, yes, you can go in and edit pieces and get them sent. We will probably at some point be getting other pieces in there that you can go in and order, but it doesn't mean that Quantum is going to go away at any point in time. So there will be basically two systems to choose from. Denise says, I never got an email. My manager forwarded me the Zoom invite. Denise, we will make sure that you do get not only an email, but your updated credentials, and make sure that you get the correct credentials sent to you. Chris, can you please show us how you got to Improv from the homepage?
I actually just went to the URL directly for the admin center. Kevin, is there a link on Gohanna for admins for Impress?
There is, Chris. It's on the home. Let me see here.
And so I'm not actually logged into Gohanna right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much, I think it's under, I always have to check if it's marketing or, yes, it's under marketing, and then the very first option is marketing center. So that's how you would get to this.
Yeah, and is that the admin though? Because there's a different URL, Kevin.
Oh. Then you have to save the link that we send you. Thanks, Chris, for specifying. Yeah, so when we send out the new email, or even the last email, the link is right, just the credentials were wrong. So when we send that out, and you click on that link, my recommendation is just to bookmark it so that you have it readily available to you. Does this take place at the XMPay marketing store? Not at the moment, Sandy. It probably will at some point, but not today. But stay tuned on that one as well. Let's see. Oh, we got a couple people asking questions in the chat. Hold on. Give me one sec here, Chris.
And so I see the question is in the chat. Mia, cute photo of my kid. Thank you. She interrupts every meeting she possibly can. Jennifer asked, how did I sign in as an agent? And so after I've selected my agent, it's just that little red lock. And then brand new as an admin, less than 2 weeks in Eastern New York, forwarded from the admin I was replacing. I need to be added, please, for Justin Miller.
I will. I'll make a note of that, Chris.
Okay, thank you. Awesome. And so we're at about 21 minutes. And honestly, that's how the admin works. It's pretty straightforward. Like as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, since most of what's being created is automated, there isn't really a lot for you to go in and click on an agent's behalf unless it's updating pictures or copy. And all of that can be accessed by searching for an agent from your admin account, selecting the red lock to log in as them, and then you can act fully on their behalf.
I don't see any other questions popping up. Just can I be added questions? Why can't managers, not all admins, manage the agents?
It's too many admin accounts.
It's a lot of so basically it's just a quick background on this whole thing. Unfortunately, every admin account has to be manually created, and so it made more sense for the admins to have access, because the admins in the office are really there to help the agents and their marketing needs. So it was pretty cumbersome to have MoxiWorks create, a login for everybody. So it was decided to just make them for the office admins. And I'm looking over here because that's where I have all the questions. So everybody's like, are you looking off into space?
Well, it looks like you're looking over at me on my screen. So it looks like you're looking at me.
Chris, what do you think? So if there are no more questions, I'm happy to say everybody can get back to their day. Just wait for a second to see if anything else pops in here. Is a report available for managers? If managers don't have immediate access, is a report a bit? Excuse me, I can't read or talk. Is a report able to be generated by the AAs to give a weekly update? Is that something that can be done, Chris?
And so there's some reporting that can be generated, and I can actually go back and share my screen again. Just give me 1 second. But I don't know how actionable it would be on a weekly basis, because it's primarily around automation, not necessarily around what people are doing with that automation. But under reporting here, and so you can look at projects created in the last month, 30 days, 365 days, or based on a date range by design type, or by account plan that you're associated with. And this would look at, if you were in East New York, it would look at all of East New York, or Michigan, it would look at all of Michigan. So I don't know how actionable that would be for an individual to be able to see, but you could see it by the area that you're associated with. And then same thing with the session count, because you can see how many sessions we would automatically by default be the source. But by region, you could see how many people have logged in, how many people had unique logins, how many times over the month they went in, based on a date range. And so those are reports that can be generated directly from the system, but they're not really going to be that actionable, because a lot of what happens is after you've received the automation, you can act on most of it from the email. So primarily, you don't really need to log into the marketing center to be able to leverage most of the materials. So depending on what you're looking for, I don't know how useful that would be to you. We do have some reporting there, though.
Let's see here. We got a manager asking if your AA is on vacation, or even leave at some point. We're left without being able to do anything in the admin back end. you can always reach out to us, or I don't know, can they get credentials from support, Chris, or would that have
And so support can act on their behalf as well.
Okay.
And so if you contact Moxi Works support, we can also log into the back end and act as admins.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, in the chat here, we have 45 agents. How can we possibly handle that? So, Linda, what I would say to that is really there's not much you're going to have to do. It's really more about if an agent needs help with something. Really, again, think about Moxi and Press as being automated. So a listing comes in and they get an email and says, hey, your listing's ready to go at 123 Main Street. Do you want to send a postcard? Do you want to, share it on social media? Do you want to, so everything's already created for them. It's only if there's a change that they need to make, like maybe they want to swap out the photo for whatever reason, but really it's automated and it's already done. So there's really not much to do. This is more of a just in case they need help with something type of situation.
And if you want an example of what the automation email looks like, I can actually show you one really quick if you guys have never seen those. Do you think that would be helpful?
Yeah, I think that would be, Chris.
Okay, perfect. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen again. And so what you're seeing here is an example of an automation email that Mary Strimple got when her listing went on the market. And so basically it just comes with some activities that she can do right here from the automation email. So she can post it on Facebook. She just clicks that share button and can post directly to Facebook. She can get postcards directly from here. So say she wanted to print 100 postcards, she could just download this PDF and send it to a printer, take it to a Kinko's, whatever it was, right from this automation email. If she wanted to send an e-card, got the e-card right here. She can just grab the URL, send that directly from here, as well as the 11x17 brochure that she can preview directly from the email itself. She can also grab the content here, download and print it. And then if she wanted to order it directly from Quantum Digital, she could go to the marketing center and order that stuff. And so really she doesn't have to do a whole bunch in the marketing center or in the program itself to be able to leverage it. It's all basically served up to her by the system. It says, hey, you got a new listing. Here are all the marketing materials we think you might need for that listing. Take what you want to use. Does that help?
Yeah, I think so. Got a question here about Homes of Distinction. So yes, there is a specialized template done for Homes of Distinction properties. So the agent actually gets a different email for if the property is over 750, I believe.
Yep. And so we do generate a different set of a different brand of content package for Homes of Distinction.
So there's a question here: is there a charge to the agents for everything project? Are there free things they can send? So Maria, the everything that's created by Moxi and Press is provided and paid for by Howard Hanna. If they need to print something, the print cost is on the agent, but everything that's created, Howard Hanna pays for. The marketing monies transfer to Moxi that are currently in Quantum. Tricia, no, that's not something we're doing right now in terms of marketing dollars. Well, the admins get CC'd on the notifications to the agents. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so.
Are the e-cards sent to the agent's contacts or the MLS list? So they can choose who to send the e-cards to once once they get that email and they click on that e-card option, they can choose who to send that to. How does
Yeah, and
that-
so none of the actions happen automatically. It's just the creation of the material happens automatically. And so we basically create all the marketing pieces right away. The agent still has to decide what they want to do with them.
Right. How do AdWorks promoting get initiated? So anonymous attendee, this is not AdWorks. This is something different. If you send an e-card, does it pull from the emails? I think we just answered that. All right, I think we got through a bunch of questions there.
Awesome.
Chris, just wanted to thank you again for taking the time to do this for our admins and our managers, and it really is a great product. There isn't much to do. We just wanted you to be able to see it, be able to know how to access it. But in reality, it's the agents get an email and they choose what they want to send or print, and it's really just it's automated, it's quick, it's easy, it's nice, it looks great, and so it's really just to save time for our agents to promote their listings and promote themselves.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for having me, Kevin. Thanks for inviting me to do this for everybody.
Absolutely.
And yeah, if there are any other questions, anything we can help you out with, let me know.
Sounds great. Thanks again, Chris.
No problem. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.